Okay, so solo hiking today. I've come to Quaker Falls in Newcastle. Some of you may be familiar. You can pause here and read that if you want. It talks about some of the history. So there's a lot of limestone quarries around here. And this area, as you can see by the dates, this area has been occupied for next to forever, like tens of thousands of years. You know, Native Americans, whoever came before the Native Americans, and such thing. Holy crap, has this changed? I haven't been here since, I don't think we came here last summer. But I figured I'd show you around. I've seen a couple people have been here, but I don't think they know all the history. Because I didn't see anybody talking about the history. Now, pay attention, bottle hunters. This is going to interest you. You've got stairs going down to the falls. I guess I can show you guys the falls, but first, okay, you see these walls here. These are actually walls. And down there were, and you can see where another building was over there. Bottle hunters. Bottles. Now, there's some more modern bottles here, like 50s, 60s, but they go way back. But if you dig down some, especially back over there, you will come across some much older stuff. Geez, I wish it was this clear when we were coming here. But yeah, and not just bottles, you'll find some random old artifacts. I believe Penn State was even here a few years ago doing the same thing. So this is where the Black Powder Company was. Way back when. Like early 1800s. And it blew up, I think, 3 times. 3 times. It operated for a very long time, but yeah, it blew up 3 times. Which caused a lot of damage. What it doesn't tell you in the histories, which you gotta dig and find personal biographical accounts of the time, was because of all the mining and whatnot going on around here, mostly for limestone, but for coal as well. People were making money. So you had a lot of Freemasons in this whole area. Hillsville's right across the street. They still quarry and mine over there. But, yeah, they had another problem. And it was this faction called the Black Hand. And they believe at least 1 or 2 of those explosions that took place at the Black Powder Factory were due to the Black Hand. I guess you could say they were kind of mafia style. Yeah. There's a lot of these interesting developments here. I suspect they might have been connected to the Masons who are free, just because the symbology used is very similar. So they would have been the dark part. That used to not be. That was attached to that. So this area is constantly changing. Oh yeah, I'm going to take you over in a bit and show you a cave too. Small, very small. But yeah, that's the falls. These stairs are newer. They probably put them up last year. See, look at all that. That's all come down. You can cross over there. Oh, I shouldn't be telling you that. Anyway, yeah, so the Black Hand was huge, and they would, take the store owners and work them over for money, for protection, the usual. But when I first found out about the Black Hand, I thought it was a local problem. But we've been down Westmoreland County to those old mines down there, and yeah, it's not. The Black Hand was there too. They blew up some companies, stores, and killed a lot of people. Well, I shouldn't say that word. I might have to blank that out. So there's Quaker Falls. Back in the day, when I first found this place, oh man, that was years ago. We used to swim down in here. We'd go across here under the waterfall, or we'd go up there and we'd jump in. Now you can see it's not real deep now. It looks like it's filled in. We did that until about 5-6 years ago. Somebody was drunk and came off up there. Yeah, they didn't make it. So at the time, this was owned by a quarrying company or an electrical company, I can't remember, and they shut the whole thing down. You were not allowed back here anymore. But way back then, I found things, and I'm going to show you them today. So, bear with me, and I'll show you some of the hidden gems of Quaker Falls. Okay, so, not sure if you can still hear the falls. They're over in that direction. But, something a lot of people don't know is Quaker Falls used to be Quaker Town. And, there are actually a lot of homes over the past couple centuries. That's a well for that house. They call it Quaker Town because way back when, the Quakers settled here. Oh, look at this. Okay, well, maybe it wasn't a house. Oh yeah, you can see it goes all around there. I'll tell you what this might have been. Yeah, this could have very well been either part of the mining that used to go on back here, or part of the railroad system that used to run through here. That's too in-depth to be a house, really. So anyway, yeah, as I was saying, Quakers settled here. That was a very long time ago. Forgive me for not knowing the exact date. Can't remember. 1600s? They settled here first, and they were the first ones to start mining around here. It wasn't for coal. Like I said, limestone, sandstone. It gets a little bushwhacky back here. That kind of thing. They started making money, and that attracted more people. I'll show you what's on the other side of the waterfalls too. It's quite interesting. Very, in fact. Like I said, Penn State. Not Penn State. I keep saying Penn State. It's actually Ohio State. So we're very near the Ohio border. They were the ones back here a few years ago, cataloging and documenting. I think that's around the time the county of Lawrence got involved, because the county of Lawrence was like, wait, there were settlements back there? They're not protected, unfortunately. Okay, yeah, I see. We're coming on the railbed now. The railbed's actually the easiest way to get to these old settlements and rail buildings and whatnot. Oh, look, a tire. But anyway, Quakers, and then more settlers and more settlers. A lot of immigrants because of the mining. Whenever you had mining back then, you had immigrants. So, various types. Italian, Irish, all the different types. And a dandy little pink ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and climb up. As I said, property's owned by the county now. Now, they said they'd planned on doing further studies out here. I don't think they have yet, and that was a couple years ago. So, stay tuned. I know there's a lot of interesting buildings and whatnot over here. See a pot. Can you see that? Oh, there's a building right there. So, as this area got more developed, more modern, they had a rail line coming through here to ship the product from the mines. There's another building remnant. And this area was actually kind of bustling back in the day. All the way up till, I think it was real early turn of the century, 1900s. This area itself just fell into ruin and was forgotten about. Look, here's, hey, bottle hunters. There's more bottles in the basement of that building. I'm trying to figure out how to get around, but there's much more interesting buildings up ahead. But anyway, this area just got forgotten about until a few years ago when Ohio State came out. I started cataloging. What they found was interesting is they discovered it wasn't just the Native Americans and Quakers here, but that this area had actually shown signs of settlement for tens of thousands of years. So, our prehistoric ancestors were here. Quite an interesting area. Some building brick there. Oh, there's a building in front of us. That is not the one I'm looking for, though. I think this is a more modern abandoned shed here. Definitely not what I was looking for. I mean, it's interesting, but not that interesting. Modern things just aren't. I'll show it to you. We've seen it. There's really nothing in it but garbage. Yeah, it might have been a part of the settlement that was here back in the day, because some of the brickwork does look older. But you could tell it was added onto. It could have been. That brickwork does look old. Like I said, we've seen it before. Not that interesting. It's just junk in it. I think in more modern times, it was used for storage. Let's stick in there. Nice old wooden door. Yeah, it's definitely seen better days. When you see the rest of the ruins, you'll see why I say that one's more modern. Because you can tell these ruins are old. But I'm going to keep slogging through the woods. And I'll pick up when I get to something interesting. Oh, of course, every time I say something. We've got the foundation of something else. A lot of building bricks. Yeah, there's a big foundation. You can see it running. And then down, there's another. And there's some clay pipe too. Oh, okay. Maybe I want to go this way. Like I said, it's been a couple years since I came back here. I was curious to see if Ohio State had been back, but I see they haven't been. They should. Yeah. That's an old foundation. Okay. Now I'll let you go while I make my way to the other ruins. See you in a bit. That didn't take long. I have some more foundation ruins. The old maps don't actually show the placement. I don't know if you can see this wall here. So this was the basement of something. They don't accurately depict where this old settlement was, or the houses. Some of the rail features are marked out, but not even all those because they didn't keep accurate records. So you can see more foundation here. This actually was another really good sized building. That was a good sized building. But I know they had a bank, they had a post office. And of course it was called Quaker Town, as I said. Be a neat area to metal detect. I don't know if the county of Lawrence wants you to though. Yeah, oh, this is quite large. Huh. This is very large. That's quite interesting. Let me know what it was. Oh, this is very big. This building's still going. See it end right there, and you can see the brick wall right there. Huh. I don't think I've seen this one before. Interesting. Yeah. I'll let you go. I'm going to keep hunting the ruins up. Okay, so I made my way back down to the rail bed. Because I was picking off too many ticks. Something I notice a lot of explorers don't mention. Get good tick spray. I have good tick spray. Like last year, we never got ticks on us with this spray. And I got it again this year. This year, it doesn't seem to be working as good. I just refreshed it. But it was pretty fresh to start with. So get you some good tick spray. I don't know, it's an old telephone pole. So, that was the railway station. So I'm going to scramble up this hillside, probably pick up a couple more ticks I'll have to pick off, and then I will resume filming. Alright, see you soon. Okay, so just came up from the rail bed. Didn't find any more little, what do you call them? Hitchhikers. So we will resume. So this was the old rail station. Way back in the day. Pretty impressive, isn't it? Considering its timeline. You can see where the steps were for the passengers, and it looks like there's, what's this? There's a hole. Huh. You know, be curious to know if maybe there was a tunnel and a basement where they loaded things or unloaded things. But yeah, oh, look at this. I'm glad it's still here. Now hopefully Newcastle doesn't tear this stuff down. Here's the inside. So back in the day, you'd be able to purchase tickets in here. I believe they had some other vendors in here as well, in the offices. Long time ago. Can you believe they forgot about this? I mean, it's been here, let's see, like 200 years. And they were just going to forget about it. It's getting a little overgrown. Probably should have done this earlier in the year. But you can see the back of the building. Yeah, isn't this neat? Look at this. I'm going to snap a few pictures and I'll show you some more ruins from the past. Alright, I snapped a few pictures and then realized I had forgotten what my son told me, which was, hold your phone sideways. That way when you upload, it's full screen. So there we go. It looks like the wall here is completely gone, but there was a doorway here. I know that from past explorations, and it's so overgrown. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. You can see an abutment right here. There was like a bridge, because there's, I don't know what you want to call it, a canal or trough or something. I'm not quite sure. And there was a bridge that way. It was interesting construction. But the other ruins are pretty close. I'll show you a few more of those. I don't want to crawl around too much on this side, because every town has to have a cemetery, right? I'll show you the once lost Quaker Town Cemetery. It's on the other side. As well as maybe a few other things. And there's something I'm looking for someone. We found it a while ago, and they have a deep interest in it. I don't know if you can see that canal, that dark spot there. There's a bridge there too, a walking bridge over it. I'm not going to pretend like I know what that was. But yeah, we found some other interesting things. And there's a large quarry over there that the Quakers were mining later on. The Amish were mining, and then the English were mining. So I'm going to head back here a little further, because there's a few more buildings I wanted to show you. Alright, so just up from that rail station, I keep coming across signs of other buildings, but they're long gone. I don't know if you can see that through the trees yet, but there's our next objective. To get over there to that ruin. Scrambling, probably picking up more hitchhikers. Taking longer than I thought, just because I have to keep stopping and checking. It's kind of a pain. Anybody, more bricks, more signs of habitation. But anyway, anyone knows of a really good tick spray, let me know. Like I said, all through back here you'll find signs. Oh, I know which one that is. So there's this one coming up, and at least one other building I want to show you is back here. It seems to be a little bit more intact than others. Naturally, it's going to be very brushy getting through there. It'll make you suffer along with me. Probably have to do a quick tick check when we get over there. Oh, this ain't too bad here. Now, I don't think we ever did figure out what this was. Because it looks a little bit more modern than the train station. Kinda. Sorta. But still manages to look pretty old. What it was, couldn't tell you. Like I said, they didn't keep too accurate history on this place. But it's got a funny shape. Isn't that interesting? Okay, before I take you up and in to check it out, I'm going to take a couple pictures. Okay, I'm up here. Had to get two hitchhikers off me. So there's the doorway I came in. Now, I don't know if there was a wall back there, and this one might be falling over. And you can see the depression in the ground, or maybe you can't. But there's a depression in the ground. It's only a couple feet. It might have gone further and filled in over the passing years. And you can see what we noticed and why this building intrigues us. So not only do you have that depression, that tree fell right here. Just a couple years ago, you get down there and see those metal spikes? I think at one time they were pointed downwards, and you can exit that right out the other side. So it's a kind of rectangular depression. So if anybody has any guesses as to what that might have been, let me know. I'm going to take a couple quick pictures and I'll show you that from the outside. Okay, I'm going to make you suffer with me. This is a good thick wall that used to be here, but is not here anymore. Let's see how to get around. It's definitely getting grown up, which is another way I know nobody's been back here, including the Ohio College. I think they had it partially cleared. Ow! That was a big thorn bush. Alright. It's going to be hard to get to. But yeah. Ow, thorn bush. Yeah, that's the outside of it. So, I have no idea what this building was. If you have any guesses, drop it in the comments. I'm going to try to remember to hold the damn thing sideways. Okay, so, just showed you that cement building. On the other side of this building, we have these piers. Like I said, there was a lot of mining around here. Not coal mining. Limestone, sandstone. I suspect some iron as well. Just knowing the area and what's here. So here's more piers. See, isn't that interesting? There was another building here with something mounted on it. As you can tell by the iron bars sticking up. This was the base for something. What? I don't know. But anyway. So, iron at the least. There was coal in the area, so not a lot. That was mostly not in this direct area. There could have been some other metals involved, but there's just no record of it. Just find it curious. Okay, on to the next one. I don't want to take too much extra footage, but I'm running out of room on my phone. There's the bridge that we were just on. And we'll go see the top of the falls. It is not a warm spring day by any means. So no, I will not be going on there. So here you are at the top of Quaker Falls. Okay, so this is where the cave was. Huh. Let me, I got my flashlight out first. There's my flashlight. I don't quite call it a cave anymore. It's definitely collapsing. I think the top's opened up. Ugh. Yeah, I used to be able to get in here. I guess you still could. I wouldn't. It went back further than this. But it's collapsed from the top. Over there in that direction, you can look down into what's left right near. There's a hole. You can look right down into it now. So, got a really big skylight and a blockage. That's a shame. It was a pretty cool cave. Okay, it took me longer to reach this spot than I expected. But you can kind of see it. Forgive me. Just drank some lemonade. I think it went down the wrong hole. Anyway, yeah, so I overshot it a bit. So you can see these walls here. Doesn't look like Ohio College has been here. Ugh. The once forgotten cemetery. So, it's not that close to the town either, folks. This is a hike. But for a very long time, it was forgotten about. Let's see, can we even read the dates? 1771. And then, I'm gonna guess it was one of the ATV riders finally said something to the right person. Most of these you can't read, they're very old. You can see where some have either collapsed, or there's rumors that some of these graves were robbed. There's a grave here, no headstone. But yeah, it's forgotten about for quite a while. This one was either robbed or sunk. And there's more in the back with smaller headstones. It's not a very big one. Let's see if we can read a date. 1815. Huh. But yeah, this is a very neat place. You can see these markers. You can also see some of these markers have already been knocked down, probably due to weather. Another one there. And most of the stones are legible. It's funny, it took so long for people to realize this was here, because it was kind of, among those of us that knew, it was kind of well known that this was here. Yeah, this is the Quaker Town Cemetery. Hopefully, they're going to do something more with it. I mean, they did a good job. I'm not knocking them. That one must have been a shape. I'm not knocking them because it was filled with brush. You could hardly see the stones. It was like we think it's a cemetery kind of thing. And they did clear the brush out, but like I said, that was a couple years ago now. Shoot, that might have been 4 years ago that they were here. 5 years ago. I don't think they've been back. So, once forgotten about, found again. Apparently, forgotten about again. Right. I'm going to continue on this way. Alright. So I checked on that thing for a friend. That is. Is it? Yeah, it's a really old insulator. Man, look at the size on that. So back in here, you will find more ruins. There's a set of tracks there. See, a building was there. Over there, there was another settlement. Got some pictures of those I might include. What? Okay, it's just a tree. From the last time I was here. Because I gotta get out of here before I lose daylight. But like I said, if you go over there, be careful. Because there's a lot of very deep wells. They're not filled in. There's an older trestle. Just a small one over there too. There's a new one. It's over there. New one's over there. Going over the creek. But I didn't go see that today. The stone settlement buildings down there are worth the hike. They're pretty cool. This is all county property, like I said. You'll see some no trespassing signs, but they're older, from the company that used to own it. So I'm going to follow this. Like I said, they used to be able to ride ATVs here. I'm going to follow this till I get to that rail bed. Take the rail bed back out. And I'll end up back on the first side of the falls. Because I crossed the creek down here. But I got a good hike in front of me. A lot of it being uphill. So I guess I'll do the outro. I don't really do that.